All right, so get ready for a deep dive into a story that kind of takes following the rules to a whole new level.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
got this Reddit post here
Yeah.
detailing a saga of, well, let's just call it malicious compliance
Okay.
in the high-stakes world of energy production.
Intrigue, right. And what
Yeah.
makes this story so compelling is the context.
Yeah,
It's not your typical office drama.
right.
This is a company that specializes in reworking gas turbine parts.
Mm-hmm.
Think massive, intricate pieces of machinery
Yeah.
to keep the lights on.
Yeah, not the place for shortcuts or shoddy work.
No, not at all.
So the narrator of this Reddit post
Right.
works with this critical piece of equipment,
Yeah.
a 3D measurement machine.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing precision is key here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This machine is like the gatekeeper of quality control.
Okay.
It scans these turbine parts looking for any tiny imperfections.
Oh, wow.
That could lead to catastrophic failures down the line.
Uh-huh.
We're talking potential explosions, power outages, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so high stakes, intricate technology, and a narrator who, according to the post, is meticulous and by the book.
Yes.
Sounds like a recipe for something interesting, to say the least.
And it is.
Yeah.
See, the company's success with this turbine part reworking has kind of backfired.
Okay.
It's created a culture of complacency.
Got it.
They've got this golden goose facility, and some folks have gotten a little too comfortable.
Ah, so the breeding ground for our story is conflict.
Exactly.
Okay.
Enter the clique.
Okay.
We've got Igor, the incompetent coworker,
Mm-hmm.
protected by his brother Boris, the head of the department.
Okay.
Then there's Manuel, the narrator's direct boss, who goes along with whatever the clique decides.
Mm-hmm.
And at the top of this pyramid,
Yeah.
we have Freddie, the big boss,
Right.
who seems to have a serious blind spot for this group's bad behavior.
So we've got our meticulous narrator who values honesty and fairness.
Yes.
And then this clique operating with a rules for thee but not for me
Yeah.
mentality.
Exactly.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, let's just say things start to unravel pretty quickly.
Okay.
The first incident involves Igor flat out refusing to sort parts. A clear violation of a company protocol, leaving our narrator with a mountain of extra work.
Did the narrator try to speak up?
Of course.
Yeah.
He's not one to let things slide.
Right.
But any attempt to address the issue is met with hostility.
Oh, no.
The clique closes ranks, defending Igor, even though he's clearly in the wrong. What's fascinating here is the psychology of group loyalty.
Yeah.
They're more concerned with protecting their own than upholding any sense of fairness
Right.
or following procedures.
And how does this us versus them dynamic affect the narrator?
It starts to wear on him.
Yeah.
Remember, he's all about doing things by the book.
Right.
So this constant disregard for the rules is incredibly frustrating.
I bet.
But he's also smart.
Uh-huh.
He knows he needs to protect himself.
Yeah.
So he starts meticulously documenting every interaction,
Oh, wow.
every instance where the clique bends or breaks the rules.
That seems like a wise move, especially in this kind of environment.
It is.
So is this where the malicious compliance comes in?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
There are a couple more incidents that really highlight the danger of this clique's behavior.
All right.
We have a damaged machine incident where the evidence points to Igor's negligence.
Okay.
But again, the blame is shifted.
Oh, wow.
And then a batch of crucial measurement reports go missing.
Really?
This time, the evidence is irrefutable.
Whoa. So the stakes are getting higher.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Remember, this isn't just about hurt feelings or bruised egos.
Right.
We're talking of potential safety hazards and massive financial losses.
Yeah.
Each of these turbine parts is incredibly valuable.
Right.
And any delay or mistake could have serious consequences for the company.
This all leads to a confrontation with Freddie, the big boss.
Exactly.
Okay.
Freddie, pressured by the missing reports and mounting delays, confronts the narrator.
Right.
He essentially gives him an ultimatum.
Uh-oh.
Apologize to Igor, admit fault, or face termination.
Wow.
It's a classic power play meant to intimidate and force the narrator into submission.
So cornered and facing termination, what does the narrator do?
Here's where the malicious compliance kicks in.
Okay.
He calmly accepts the termination,
Really?
but not before getting Freddie to sign a letter confirming the dismissal.
Oh.
It seems like a defeat.
Yeah.
But in reality, he's just set a trap.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
So what happens after the narrator walks out with that signed termination letter?
Well, we'll have to get into that after a quick break.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll be right back.
All right, so we left off with our narrator walking out the door, termination letter in hand.
Right?
It felt like a loss, but I have a feeling this is where things get really interesting.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay.
See, the narrator wasn't just a skilled technician.
Yeah.
He was the linchpin holding that facility together.
Mm.
He understood that intricate 3D measurement machine like the back of his hand, knew all its quirks, and could troubleshoot any problem that popped up.
Right.
The clique, blinded by their arrogance, didn't grasp how vital he was to the smooth operation of everything.
So what happens when that expertise is suddenly gone?
Chaos, my friend.
Oh, boy.
Without the narrator to operate and maintain that machine,
Yeah.
the whole production process grinds to a halt.
Really?
Remember, each of these turbine parts is worth a small fortune.
Right.
And every day of delay means lost revenue and potentially breached contracts. The pressure starts mounting immediately.
I bet Freddie and the gang are starting to sweat a little now.
You bet they are.
Yeah.
The Golden Goose is suddenly sputtering, and they're scrambling to find anyone who can fill the narrator's shoes.
Right.
Problem is they can't.
Why is that?
That 3D measurement machine wasn't just some plug-and-play appliance.
Okay.
It required specialized knowledge, a deep understanding of the technology, and the ability to interpret the data it generated.
Got it.
The narrator had all of that, and the clique had pushed him out.
So what did they do? Try to train someone up quickly?
They tried, but it was like asking someone who'd only played Guitar Hero to step in for Jimi Hendrix at a concert.
Oh, wow.
It just wasn't happening. And remember, Vladimir, the technician responsible for fixing the machine?
Yeah, the one who must have had a sixth sense for when things were about to go wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, poor Vladimir is now inundated with calls.
Oh, no.
Working around the clock, trying to keep this temperamental, highly sophisticated machine running.
Oh, man.
You're probably dreaming in error codes at this point.
I bet.
The backlog of work grows exponentially and the financial losses start to climb.
This is where that meticulous documentation the narrator kept comes into play, right?
Precisely.
Okay.
See, as the situation spirals, fingers start pointing, the clique, desperate to save their own skins,
Yeah.
tries to pin the blame on the narrator, claiming he sabotaged things on his way out.
Oh, wow.
But the narrator has receipts, so to speak.
Okay.
Every instance of their negligence, their corner cutting, their disregard for protocol,
Right.
it's all documented.
So he's essentially holding all the cards.
He's got a pretty strong hand, let's put it that way.
Right.
And remember how he mentioned having ears within the company?
Yeah.
Well, those ears start feeding him information.
Okay.
The news of the facility's meltdown has reached the very top, the national CEO.
Yikes. That's not good for Freddie and the gang.
No, it's not.
What happens next?
The company dispatches what the narrator calls a kill squad.
A kill squad.
Now, to clarify, this isn't a literal hit squad.
Right.
It's a team of high-level executives, the company's heavy hitters,
Okay.
sent in to investigate the mess, find a scapegoat, and get things back on track. Imagine these guys, all sharp suits and steely gazes,
Yeah.
parachuting into this chaotic situation.
I bet they weren't expecting to uncover a trail of incompetence leading straight to a clique of protected employees.
Not at all.
Wow.
And this is where the narrator's meticulous documentation becomes a game changer.
Okay.
The kill squad interviews him as part of their investigation. He calmly and factually lays out the whole story.
Yeah.
Every incident, every violation, all backed up by his notes and records.
Talk about a mic drop moment.
It's more like a carefully crafted data presentation that completely dismantles the clique's narrative.
Right.
And the fallout is swift and brutal.
Let's hear it. What happens to Igor, Boris Manuel, and of course Freddie stay with us as we uncover the consequences in part 3 of this deep dive. Okay, so the kill squad has all the facts, the truth is out, and Freddie's little clique is exposed. What happens next? I'm guessing there are some pretty significant consequences.
Oh, absolutely. Remember, this isn't just about office politics or hurt feelings.
Right.
The company's bottom line has taken a serious hit.
Yeah.
Their reputation is tarnished, and there's a real possibility of legal repercussions,
Right.
especially with those missing reports.
So what's the verdict? Who faces the music and how badly do they get hit?
Well, it's a clean sweep for the kill squad.
Yeah.
Igor, the catalyst for much of this mess, is fired for careless negligence. His brother Boris, who enabled his behavior and failed to maintain order in his department, is also terminated.
Right.
Manuel, the narrator's former boss, who was complicit in the clique's actions, gets the boot as well.
Wow, the whole gang gets taken down. But what about Freddie, the big boss, who orchestrated that whole apologize or be fired ultimatum? He can't just get a slap on the wrist, can he?
Nope. Freddie's actions put the company in a very precarious legal position. And that's not something the higher-ups take lightly.
Right.
He's not only fired, but also faces legal action.
Really?
The details of which the narrator doesn't know. But it's safe to assume his career in this industry is over. It's a classic case of hubris, isn't it?
Yeah.
She thought he was untouchable, but his arrogance and blind loyalty brought him down.
It's almost Shakespearean, really. The mighty brought low by their own flaws. But what about the company itself? They're the ones who created this toxic environment in the first place.
The company suffers as well. They're hemorrhaging money due to the production delays, facing penalties for missed deadlines and having to scramble to hire external consultants to
Right.
train new staff on the very machine they had a perfectly capable expert running just weeks before. It's a lesson in unintended consequences.
Yeah.
They tried to cut corners, silence a dissenting voice, and it backfired spectacularly.
And let's not forget the human cost. Those former colleagues of the narrator, even the ones who weren't part of the clique, are left to deal with the fallout.
Exactly. The atmosphere in that facility must be toxic. Morale is probably at an all-time low.
Right.
Some are likely looking for new jobs, disillusioned by what they've witnessed.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that toxic behavior, even if you're not directly involved, can have a ripple effect on everyone in the organization.
So amidst all this chaos, what happens to our meticulous by-the-book narrator? Does he end up being the unsung hero vindicated by the company's implosion?
He does even better than that. Remember, he wasn't out for revenge.
Right.
He just wanted a fair and respectful workplace. And guess what? He finds it within a day of his termination.
Oh,
He lands a new job at a company that values his skills and expertise,
that's great.
where he doesn't have to deal with incompetent coworkers or power-hungry bosses.
That's fantastic. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade.
It really is a testament to his character. He didn't let the negativity of that experience define him. He moved on, found a better opportunity, and get this, his commute is now only 18 minutes.
Ah, the irony. The company loses a valuable employee, creates a massive mess, and inadvertently helps him find a better situation. It's a reminder that sometimes walking away is the best course of action.
It is, but this story is also about the power of individual action.
Right.
The narrator didn't have any special authority or a platform, but he made a difference. By sticking to his principles, documenting everything and calmly presenting the facts, he exposed the truth and triggered a chain reaction that brought down a corrupt system.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have a role to play in holding individuals and institutions accountable, whether it's speaking up against injustice, documenting wrongdoing, or simply refusing to be complicit in bad behavior.
Exactly. And in a world where going viral can have real-world consequences, the narrator's story offers a blueprint for navigating these complex systems.
Yeah.
He shows us that sometimes the quietest compliance can be the most effective form of protest.
This deep dive has been fascinating and thought-provoking. We've seen the seductive nature of power dynamics, the dangers of complacency, and the ultimate triumph of integrity and meticulous documentation. But here's a final question for you to ponder. In a world where our actions can have such far-reaching consequences, how can we each be more like the narrator, using our individual agency to create positive change?
That's an excellent question and one that's worth reflecting on.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.